Hey, what is up guys? Rudy the Null here, coming back at you with another batch tutorial. And today we're going to be checking out some more string functions. We're going to be building some more of our own functions, making some really cool stuff, and just programming the day away, the way it should be, you know? So I'll get Notepad++ ready, and what we're going to be creating today is something that allows you to sort of like center your string. So I'm going to call mine just that, string center.bat. And I'll do my add echo off as usual, but what this will really do is just sort of create like white space all around a string. And it can do that on either end, so it's almost like it's centering it. So you'll be able to see it pretty cool what's going on though. But anyway, let's get the syntax going, because we're going to need to call the create string function, the center string, or string center, whatever we call it, and it's we're going to need the name of the string, we need the width of the characters that we're going to be centering it by, and then we need to set up a return value because we want to be able to set this value here to anything that we want. So first of all, we're going to need a blank variable that we're going to work with later, but we're just going to set content to nothing whatsoever. Make sure there's nothing after the equal sign, and then we can go ahead and set an integer. So we're going to be using the -a tag because we're going to need something called the middle, and that's what's going to let us find the difference, or actually the middle of the text that we're passing in. So we'll do the width, which is the second argument that we pass in, subtract the length of the string that we pass in, and we can divide that by 2. Okay. But before we do any of this stuff, though, before we start looping and actually making something happen here, we need to test if the width is actually less than the length. Because if it is, then we really can't do anything. So we can set that up here with a conditional statement. If the width is less than the length, what we can do is set our return, which is the third argument that we pass in. We can set it to the value of the string, because we really can't modify it whatsoever. And then we're just going to go to the end of the file. So it's sort of like breaking out of the function. It's like our original return statement. But anyway, then we're going to continue on by actually looping. So on the off chance that it is larger than the length, the width and they supplied is a little bit bigger, what we can do is start counting through it. 0, 1, and then we're going to be using our width here as to stop. And when we do this, what we're going to do is actually set content, which is what we're going to be using to hold all of the spaces, to be equal to the value of content with a space at the end. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to need. Make sure there is a space here, and make sure nothing else follows it, but it's just the value of content and that space after. Then we're going to test if the current position is equal to the middle. Because if it is, what we can do is go ahead and set content to the content that we initially started working with. We can throw the string in there that we've been working with, %1 inside exclamation points, and then we'll get more of the content. So it's almost like we're tacking it up back onto the other side, and then we can just hurry up and go to the end, which is going to be a new label that we'll create. And the end is only going to have one thing, but it works to break out of the loop. Set the return to the value of the content. Okay, so that's awesome. Now we can actually, first of all, I'll create something new here that'll allow us to actually see this. If we do script.bat, we can set this up as a regular script. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is go ahead and create a string here. Call mine sentence, and like a lot of stuff. And then what I'll do is go ahead and call my string center function. Pass in sentence. We'll have a width of, let's say, 40. And I want the return character to be fill. So now if we echo out fill, get CMD ready for us. We'll bring this down. You can see if we run script, echo is off and a lot of stuff. So what is happening here with that echo off? Oh wow, that's really embarrassing. I completely forgot to change the add echo off at the top of my string setter. Huh. It's been a long day, guys, trust me. Alright, now if we head back to our script, though, if we run it again, we still get to see a lot of stuff. It's that same position, but if we actually were to get the length of our sentence, we can go ahead and echo out sentence length. Get a new line here. So there's 14 characters there. So if we did 14, that's where it'll actually put only one space beside it, but if we did like 15 and multiple others, it'll actually create space that wouldn't have had before. And we can actually see that it's working on both sides too if we use our color message. So if I use call color message with fill, we're actually going to need some colors to work with. I'll do 1F, and we'll set that to be a string. We'll pass it as a string. A lot of stuff. So now it's working. We have the same thing on either side, and it works perfectly fine for us. And that's all it is. We're just centering a string, and that's really it. It's pretty simple. It's a nice Python function. Just wanted to make a batch version of it for you guys, and just make it accessible. So it's something we can use here, and it's pretty nice. Thank you very much for watching, though, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye.